Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel at P English Literature. If you've not subscribed to this channel or if this is the first time you're watching P English Literature, I want to urge you to please click on the subscribe button over there. Also, like and consider sharing the video with your friends. Thank you very much for that. Today, I'm making a wrap up of the books I've read since January to June. Actually, I should have made this video for a long time now, but I was waiting for some books to arrive which I've read in time past and I give out to some people who are willing to read it. And again, I need to thank the authors who have sent their book for review on this channel. I so much appreciate you all, and I'm so much interested in promoting your book so that it can reach more audience out there and for it to have a little bit and more of an engagement. And thank you everyone who has sent their book for review on P English Literature. So this video is gonna be in three categories. This is the first video I'm making for the wrap up of the books I've read since January to June, and I'm also gonna include that of July because I'm gonna make it like a quarter and half of the year. So I'm gonna first start by talking about the books that I've read in ebook version before I move into the ones that I've selected for this particular video, because the video is going to be in two sections. The first section will talk about this book right in front of me, these books, and the next section will talk about other books that I've also read within the period of January to June. And let me first start by showing you the books I've got in my hand here. I have BTech from Umdetran. I have The Principles of Greatness. I have You Are Designed to Be Successful. I have Transparent Moment. I have Schizoaffective disorder, and I have Why, Reason for Every Action. These are actually the first section of the book review that I'm gonna make as a wrap up. The other ones I'm gonna make it probably tomorrow or next tomorrow. And I need to first start by talking about the books that I've read in ebook. I've gotten quite some books in ebook that belongs to Olusola matter. That's The Black Truth. I actually reviewed a book, The Black Truth, on Amazon, and it's actually a very interesting novel that anyone in any age group can actually read. I love Olusola Matter's choice of words and the way she writes her words. She seems to be a kind of a very good novelist, and her choice of words are actually very simple and easy for anyone who is reading, irrespective of your age, either even as a children or adult. And again, I reviewed Ashok Manikoth's Sound and Silence and Beat of My Heart. Ashok Manikoth is an Indian author whose choice of word is more specific to the preservation and the conservation of natural resources. He is an author that is vast deep into the conservation of the ecosystem. He writes about nature and a little bit and even more chronic into the themes of humanity. And again, I've reviewed MacDanniel's Moyo, who is a Zimbabwean author of My Prickly Heart and Everyday's Valentine. MacDanniel Moyo seems to be a kind of a poet that is more specific into talking about love, into talking about pain and some other things related to human existence. I've also reviewed Ifunanya Georgia's Naked. I left a review on Ifunanya Georgia's Naked on Amazon, and I love her use of word. I love her use of words. She seems to be an impressive poet whose words are somehow satirical and some other things very deep into the conservation of we Africans. And some other things that I found very interesting about Ifunanya Georgia's Naked is the fact that there's a poem there that's a man of books that was addressed to Chinua Achebe. I specifically love that poem, and some other things encapsulated in our books is very, very interesting. Ifunanya Georgia is a Nigerian author, and she's doing very absolutely love. I love her book. I can say it over and over again. I've also read Omar, Majeed, Dewey Decimal System. I've reviewed it. All those reviews that I'm mentioning can be accessed on this channel if you can go on down to the old videos of mine. I've also reviewed Spencer John's The Wholesome Lady. That is also an amazing novel. So I'm gonna start the other review by talking about this book right in front of me, BTech. You know, BTech was written by Massoki, and Massoki is a Cameroonian author and is also the author of The Pride of an African Migrant. And this is a second book that was published by the Piers Rocked Press in the United Kingdom. I love the book. It talks about the story of BTech Bibimia, who left its village due to some German invasion and ultimately go into Nigeria. And you know, as the story keep moving from one part to the other, I so much admire it. I love it. You know, this is not a review, this is just a review wrap up, and I'm not permitted to start narrating the story in BTech, but I so much admire it. I love it so much. It's a story that tells more into the preservation of the African cultural heritage, more specifically to the Cameroonians. And it's also a story that I felt that everyone or every Cameroonian should read. And it talks more about the cultural heritage of the Bassa people and some other, you know, themes as used in the book. I love BTech from Umdetran. It's an engrossing story. It's a captivating story. It's an absorbing story. It's a story of love. It's a story of betrayal. It's a story that, you know, made me to be emotional. Okay, that having said about BTech from Umdetran, another one that I've read is The Principles of Greatness, that was written by two authors, Adeola Emmanuel and Adeola Emmanuel. I met one of the author in one of my visits to the library, and he requested that I should, if I would be willing to read and review his books. I actually love the book because it's all about motivation. It talks about a little bit, adds some text particular to spiritualism, and it's just something very more interesting. I love it, and I can also recommend it even though it is not available on Amazon. The another one is You Are Designed to Be Successful by Freddie Jr. I left a review of this book also on Amazon, and I love it because it also talks about some things that are much particular to the Christian fold and what we all need to know if we want to be successful in life. And I think this is the kind of book that everyone should long to read. Another one that I've read is Transparent Moment by Nicole Gillespie. I specifically love this book. You know, my reaction to each book might be a little bit different, and I can say that Transparent Moment is an amazing book. I love it because it's full of raw emotion, it is full of heartfelt plea, it's full of, it's actually an autobiographical poetry written by Nicole Gillespie, and I so much admire it. You know, the poem made me thinking, it made me pondering, it made me seeking meaning. I left a review of this book in one of my old videos. You can check it out by Transparent Moment, Nicole Gillespie. It's actually a nice book, a book of poems full with raw, heartfelt, soul-wrenching poems. I love it. The next one I'm gonna talk about is Schizoaffective Disorder by Guenevere MacDonald. This is a kind of a guide, a family and patient guide, because Guenevere MacDonald has actually suffered from schizoaffective disorder. And you know, because I read this book, it tended me to make more research about schizoaffective disorder, and I've come to know that one of the causes could be gene, could be environment, and could be hereditary, and some other things that are, you know, the symptoms of this thing. Some people can even have a kind of a thought suicide, the suicide thought, and some people could be thrust into depression, into mania, into hallucination, and some other things related to that. I love this book. It's like a family or patient guide for whoever that suffer from schizoaffective disorder. So if you know anyone who suffer from this schizoaffective disorder, either schizophrenia, the bipolar type, or the other type, I would solely advise you to check out Guenevere MacDonald's book. It's actually an impressive book, and I can so much love it. It falls under the category of mental health, you know, issues, mental health advocacy, and I love it. You know, mental health is something that most people do not like to talk about, and it is actually a kind of a topic that we cannot hold with levity. It's something that is much more important because most people are being thrust into mental health, and they seems to be dying in silence, languishing in silence with no one getting to know about their misery. Okay, the next one is Why? Reason for Every Action by Abdul Ghaffar. I love this book because it talks about motivation and talk about what you need to know if you want to motivate yourself. And Abdul Gaffar's choice of word, his use of language, is actually very interesting. You know, most times human motivation seems to suit up at the first day of the year. Maybe in January, you see people, you hear people say, "Oh, I'm getting motivated. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that." But as the day keep going, we enter February, March, April, the motivation die down. You know why? Reason for Every Action. It's a book that will keep your motivation firing up. It's a book that would help you to persevere irrespective of whatsoever happen. And I so much appreciate it. I love it, and I can really recommend it. I also left a review of the book on Amazon. I also left a review also of Schizoaffective disorder on Amazon. You can always go out there and check it out. I also left a review on Transparent Moment on Amazon. You can just go out there and check it out. So this is going to be a wrap up of my first wrap up for the books I've read in between January to June. The second wrap up will be coming up very soon, maybe in next 5 or 4 days. And I want to urge you that if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do so by clicking on the red button over there so you can get notified anytime I release new videos. Thank you so much for watching my wrap up. See you in my next video. Goodbye.